Hi everyone. So my name is Gilbert Mwale, and I just wanted to share a few thoughts. Is that on a monthly basis, I get about 5 to 10 phone calls, coming from people, simply asking me a few different questions, and they would say, "I'm planning on retiring, or I just got my pension, and I'm thinking about what should I do with this money when it comes to agriculture. I have a piece of land somewhere out of town, and it's a 4 acres, 1 hectare, or whatever size that it is, and I'm thinking of doing some development activities there." Or some others actually just simply say, "Look, I I'm already farming, and I have people that are taking care of my farm. People that they usually call caretakers. I'll talk a little bit more about that later." And they would be asking me, "So we would really want to grow our farm, grow the activities there, and make quite a lot of money, because the biggest challenge I'm having right now for those who are still working is that they have to get their salaries to actually fund their farming activities." An example of this would be that, think of someone who keeps broiler chickens, and has either 200 or 500 broiler chickens, and when starting out, they got a part of their salary they received that month end, or they had saved for a little bit, got a small portion of it, bought the day old chicks, and put them into the chicken run, and started taking care of them. Now, every time they would need to buy, vaccines, they would also need to buy feed and several other items that the chicks require for them to grow in the 6 weeks. Is that they always have to run back to their salary and get a portion of that. Now, it is fine if you're doing that, and this is your first time you are keeping chickens, and you're just starting out. But if you've been doing this for the last 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, or you don't even have a plan of how you're going to do that afterwards, and you keep on spending your own money that you're earning from another business to pump into this agricultural uh, business consistently, continually, is that there's something wrong with your business model. You need to think about the fact that this agriculture activity is a business. And I know for the longest time, most of us have discussed the issue of agribusiness, and I hear this term abused. And a lot of times there's trainings out there where somebody's saying, "Come and let us learn what is called agribusiness." And what you find when you get there is well-meaning people that actually just teach you. If it's an agribusiness training on tomatoes, or let's say on onions, or other items or other products, like things like food processing, is that what you find is that they are actually showing you the process of producing or processing an item. So you'll be processing beef into maybe a finished product that you'll be packaging, which is sausages, or you'll be processing chickens, or processing tomatoes, or planting tomatoes. So that is the technical knowledge of agriculture is what you would be learning. Now, that is something I have found that consistently for most of us, we see that happening a lot. Every time you go out for training, you are getting the technical knowledge. Now, I want to push us back a little bit and say, what about the business? Because I see a lot of people missing the business part. Is that we must understand that if we're going to grow farm organizations, if we're going to see emergent farms growing and becoming commercial farms, or what we refer to as large scale farms, is that you need to stop, running your farm, as a hobby, or really not calculating exactly how it's going to be a business. So like I said, have helped, first of all, trained close to about 10,000 farmers in the last 10 years, for free, and small scale farmers. And I got to understand how that space looks like. But now my interest is with the rest of our team, is we have been looking at how do we help the emergent farms move from where they are into becoming commercial or large scale farms. And one of the critical things that I have found as that is lacking is primarily the component of them doing their farming as a business. Now, not just as a cliche or just a talk of business, What do I mean by that? Number one, I throw in ideas of how is ShopRite run? How are companies like ShopRite running? How is companies like Pick and Pay running? How do they do their business? And I'll go into all these things, with time. But simply, here is a few things that I would like to pass out to us, which I'll share detailed later. But here are a few things. If you're thinking about getting into farming, or you're already an emergent farmer and you are saying, how do I stop spending my salary consistently pushing it into the agric business and it's never giving me back anything? The people in the agric business are not generating enough money for you to actually be able to enjoy your business. And you're about to retire. You're about to, you can see that it's sucking up funds that you could have used to invest somewhere else. Well, the first thing I would like to advise you, number one, is have a plan for your farm. I call this a strategic plan. Have a strategic plan. Have a plan, not a business plan, but have a strategic plan. Where is this farm going? Number two, build the farm for real business, not hobby farming. Don't do hobby farming, because if you are a farmer, by default, you are an entrepreneur, whether you like it or not. And it's either you're making losses out of your farm enterprise, or you're making profits, or you're just breaking even. So figure out where you are today. Number three, build farm policies and processes. Set up, a way that things happen in your farm that replicates or imitates how you work. Make people on your farm do things the way you do them. Then I would say 4, hire the right people on your farm. Have people that are actually going to, build your business in a manner that you like, that are going to be able to turn it profitable. And then also, once you have done all those things, you've set up a plan, you have built the farm as a real business, and you have set up farm policies, and now you have also added the right team members. Manage that on a consistent basis. And, that is all what we mean when we usually say successful remote farming. I believe that you can actually run your farm successfully without being there. And I can prove that anywhere, anytime. Remote farming can be done successfully with very few challenges. And try out what I've said. Let's meet again. Thank you.